Hello everyone. I have got a message this morning from the Lord and given me understanding for why the wall is so important to the American people. He led me believe and know that as the world goes on, each one of us know that there's catastrophes over here, terrible things over there. And he said there is something that is coming that is not in the United States. That is going to be so tremendous that many people, migrants and refugees, are going to try to flood this nation. Now what we're seeing right now, if we really take a good look on the internet and we see that the flood of migrants, you see in many of the pictures that they are only young men. They are not women, they are not children, they are just young men. And many of them go into different countries and just flood it. Like they went into Germany. If you saw the videos on Germany, you'll see that the sheer force of how many they were just overtook any guards at the border or anything. And they went there and you'd see women standing there out there crying about how people had just taken over their homes and how they raped and they murdered and did whatever they wanted to because they have no respect for any other country or any other God but what they call God. I don't know if any of you have ever noticed, but the rule of law is based on the 10 Commandments. It says, don't lie, don't bear false witness, don't steal. These were Christian laws. And now there's another culture trying to pour itself into this country and change those laws. They're taking over certain states, certain cities, and they want to bring another law by another God. And there are people who are foolish enough to say we worship the same God, but if you take a good look at where these people are coming from, what they believe in, it's not the same God. God is holy, but they call their laws holy, which are not even good for people. And so as we allow this migration to happen, we are literally, by sheer force, thinking that we live in a day that we used to live many years ago where we allowed immigration without any background checks or anything. That day is gone. Now the wicked wax worse and worse. And so the world has changed in many ways. And because of that huge change in values, in respect, in understanding, we can't do and allow the same things. But if this catastrophic happening happens, we must be prepared, and that's why we must have a wall. If we don't have that wall on every border, I am telling you right now, we are opening up a door that there will be no more. The elites, the news media, all of them believe they'll never be touched. They have money. They don't care what happens to you. They don't care what happens to your children. They feel that you're so stupid that you will believe what they have to say. They feel that you're so ignorant. They have led you down the garden path of lies. Politicians have done that. Now you may find whatever you want to find with our president. You may find fault with him. But when the news media feeds personality problems, feeds he had 2 more scoops of ice cream, feeds that he looks like this, feeds that he does this, and they know what they're doing. They know that you have listened to them before, and they know how to capture your thoughts and make themselves sound and seem intelligent. But intelligence is not wisdom. You can be so smart, go to college, get how many college degrees, and still have no wisdom. You've met people like that. Real smart people have no wisdom. They have no understanding. No, some of them don't even have understanding between right and wrong. And so this country was overtaken from being asleep, allowing people to decide what your laws may be, allowing people. So now up comes a man who wants to bring the rule of law back. He wants to bring the Supreme Court to a place where they won't kill babies. He wants to do all those things, and he's doing them. And because the news media is not reporting it, you never really see it or understand it. So you have to, even if you go and Google is so bad for a conservative thinking between right and wrong that they literally put on there things that are not true about him. It's amazing to me that they have control of Twitter, which many times they have made sure that I can't reach people. YouTube is starting to be as bad. So while I can, I'm trying to make a video to try and reach as many of you as I can. Oh yes, I'm going to have a ministry. And in that ministry, I may not be able to speak politically, but I can tell you how to recognize, how to understand by God where he's at. You need to know exactly what Jesus is doing. If you see someone changing the laws to overthrow truth, to overthrow anything that is of God, then you know that's not God. You know that God will never put up with any other God to dwell next to him or with him. For he will not, he's the only one that died for you, that resurrected from the grave and made a way to heaven. He's the only one. He died for you. God the Father is not going to allow another God to come into this country unless you let them. And when you let them, you are snubbing your nose right at God. And you're saying, I don't care what Jesus thinks. I don't care. There is no guide to right and wrong, righteousness or holiness without the Bible. That's why they want to destroy it. Because that's what the hypocrites did of their day. Even the religious hypocrites. What they did is they wanted to destroy Jesus because they knew as long as he existed, they were not real. They knew they were lying and cheating and raping and murdering. They knew that. And because of that, they figured if they got rid of him, there would be no proof. Because people today that do not know the basic truths that you have, many of you have in your hearts, you were raised with it, you walked along this earth and you knew without a single soul telling you that it was wrong to lie, wrong to cheat, wrong to swear. You knew that. Which I'm not saying that swearing is a real bad thing, but we won't even get into that. We'll get into it in some of our messages. But right now I am telling you, you have to weigh the truth. What is going to destroy my family? What is going to destroy my mother? Who is going to be allowed to come and invade my home? Jesus told his disciples when they left the first time in Luke, he told them clearly. He said, when I told you to go the first time, I told you not to take any script, anything with you. He says, now I tell you that I'm leading you out now, and I'm telling you to sell all you have and buy a sword, because he knew they were going to have to defend their life. This turning the other cheek was for the brethren among the brethren. He was teaching them not to fight among themselves. But he wasn't talking about the world that would come and kill them and destroy them. He wasn't talking about that. He wasn't even thinking about that. He had said that God will judge the world. He didn't say for you to stay away from the people who do wrong. You know, what he said is your needs go throughout life. He didn't say that, they judged and condemned him for sitting and eating with sinners. If you don't think that sinners ate at that table that were homosexuals, something's wrong with you. Because every kind of sinner was at that table with him. He did not go there and say, you're going to hell, you're going to die, you're going to this. It isn't how he did that. The life he had within him, that life that you're supposed to live with Jesus indwelling in you, that I can teach you, that I can tell you about. The name of the ministry that I'm going to that I'm going to be working on is called All Glory to Jesus. That is coming soon. And I hope that you listen and you pay attention, because the time is short. We don't need to rise up and fight with anything except prayer and use the law righteously. Do everything in decency and in order. These people that tell you that they are permitted by God to covet what you have and tell you what to do with it, they're wrong. There's so much teaching to help you to understand how you are to operate in Christ. It hasn't even begun to be started to be told. So you have lived in a different realm of lies that you've been fed from so many directions that you now reject when you see someone working to have Christ come up and have glory and change things back to what it needs to be. You listen to fake news, you listen to liars, adulterers, cheaters, you listen to them all, and they all take a personality and formed it to make it disgusting to you. Because that's the only hope they had. They couldn't find any other fault with him. They couldn't destroy him any other way. So that was the only thing they had. And when you watch MSNBC, you watch CNN, you feed it. You feed it, and you're going to suck yourself right in the mouth and destroy your own life by entertaining such people.